The Constitution of India, Preamble. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact and give to ourselves this Constitution.
Hello children, welcome back to this Disney channel and I am back. I hope you are all happy and safe at home in the hands of your parents, and from some of your friends I understood that it is getting bored being with parents at home and you wish to come back to school. Okay, feeling pity on you people, I asked one of your friends, okay, dear, you wish to come back to school, you wish to be with us. He said, definitely, why not teacher, I wish to come back to school. Only to be with my friends and not to listen to the classes. It sounds amazing, isn't it? I felt so happy for his open-minded, innocent way of answering to a teacher. Very true. Even we people have undergone the same situation during this period. We feel very sorry that you miss your energetic period that you are losing right now sitting at home, where you will have to learn more about your life. Yes, let us pray that everything get resolved very soon and you are back with us again in this Gurukulam family. Okay, what do you think about this adolescent age, the time period that you are crossing with? Yes, definitely this is a stage where there is a growth and development, and also it is a period that marks the transition from childhood to adulthood. And this is also the period where you extend your relationship beyond your parents, where you are intensely influenced by your peer groups. Your mental process starts thinking analytically, and truly these years are going to be the years of creativity, idealism, buoyancy and also adventurous. These are the years of experimenting and also risk-taking, and thus it turns to be the life-changing or turning point of many people's life. As it is a period of high potential, you are ready to take up or adapt yourself to any situation, any risk in your life. Because of high exposure to the media, we are confused at this point of life due to many unanswered questions. Definitely at this moment what we need is self-management. To gain self-management, definitely we will have to practice 10 core life skills that is laid down by WHO. Shall we see to it? What are the 10 life core skills? You all know that. It is self-awareness, empathy, creative thinking, critical thinking, problem solving, decision making, effective communication, interpersonal skill, coping up with stress and coping up with emotions. Isn't it? We all undergo all these emotions, all these situations, and the challenge is to overcome all these things. Let us all practice self-management, practicing these life skills. As a responsible citizen, we should learn to act responsibly, utilizing the time very properly to reform, bringing revolutions. Allocate your time differently and do what you can with the time and the resource that is available to you. Then start expanding. Embrace new techniques, new learning in your life. These skills will definitely enable us to empower us to overcome all the challenges of life. Face your fears and challenges. Be optimistic. Don't compare yourself with a superior talented person, because you will turn to be miserable. And don't do it in the other way also. Don't compare yourself to an inferior talented person, because you may become so arrogant. Compare yourself with your own self and you become a better person. See, there is an Indian proverb. There is nothing noble about being superior to other person. The whole nobility is becoming superior to your own former self. You have to empathize and not sympathize. You might have all heard the story of a beautiful butterfly that was struggling within its cocoon. Seeing the struggle of a cocoon, the man who passed by that way, what he did is he stripped off the rest of the cocoon from where it was struggling to come out. The butterfly came out. What the butterfly should do is it should fly with its beautiful colorful wings. But this butterfly was not able to fly. It was crawling around with a swollen body and it was not able to fly at all. So now you have understood what the story revealed. This butterfly should have undergone the struggle of nature. This man should not have been so hasty to cut off the cocoon, isn't it? Some struggles are also needed in our life. It makes people think and learn from life. Struggles gives us strength. See, life without obstacles and struggles will definitely make us cripple and we will not be able to progress. And there is a quoting of George Bernard Shaw. Education can and should do much influence social, moral and intellectual discovery by stimulating critical attitude to thoughts in the young. Yes, education should support this generation, support these people to think out of the box, to think innovatively. When tough time comes, let us try to discover us. Okay, solution should be the word for all the challenges that you face. So here, the unit is challenges of life. Children, tell me whether you face challenges in life. Challenges, you know. What are the challenges that you face right now? Definitely the first one is this pandemic situation, isn't it? Okay, and then it is about your future. How your education is going to be, how are you going to write your exams, even might be your improvement you are thinking about, you are worrying about, and then about your career, then about your life, marriage, financial status, expanding your family, you are constructing your dream house. Each and everything turns to be the challenges of your life, isn't it? And right now, you have high potential to think about it, regulate it and get a solution for it. Okay, so we'll begin with the third unit, challenges of life. The first very beginning of the lesson itself is, be the change you want to see in the world. Being the young generation, youth in this world, we expect so many changes in the world. We blame or we comment or criticize the system. But why shouldn't you bring the change from yourself? So be the change that you want to see in the world. Then the whole world reforms. So it is a wording or saying by Mahatma Gandhi. So let us see what the unit intends to say, right? Adolescence is the most fertile period of imagination. That's what we discussed. Adolescence is the most fertile period of imagination, hopes and ambition. You can never deny it. So much of hopes, dreams. Being idle-minded and dozing off will never help you to achieve your dreams. Instead, you all know that we will have to work for it, isn't it? Yes. Is it not also the most important phase of life when crucial decisions regarding future prospects to be taken? It's a question. You are allowed to answer. Is it not that period where you have to take crucial decisions about your future? And what should be the yardstick in choosing a career? Yardstick, a measuring rod. Under what basis you will have to select your career? You have wide open options in your career. Choose accordingly, according to your taste and passion. Okay, a career should undoubtedly be success oriented. You will have to be happy about it. Isn't it? You have to enjoy it because it's going to be the maximum part of your life. If you don't take up with the joy, the whole life is going to be monotonous, worrying, struggling to meet the ends. It is to make up your living, isn't it? So it should be success oriented. Success oriented doesn't mean that only making money out of it. Making money is no way related to success. Success is beyond that, where you get happiness. It is not sure that whoever has bank balance is the happiest person. What you need ultimately in life is happiness. Money is essential. I don't disagree with that fact. Money is needed, but it is not the whole face of life. It is not the only thing that you need in life. Bowing your head in front of money, maybe we lose our values, and thus we will end up our life having no happiness too. So the definition of success have changed in the modern world. Success is not just making money, that's what I said earlier. It is about pursuing excellence to make a difference in the society. You should be a daring person to make a difference. Be unique. The unit introduces the concept of entrepreneurship and also emphasizes the dignity of labor. Now the trend of the society is going behind white-collared job. Completing a degree course, sit and write your PSC exam for years together, you will waste it there, and finally you will lament about I didn't get a job. There is a lot many scope to make up your own earning. Okay, emphasizing the dignity of labor, it comprises an interview with an young entrepreneur, a three-wheeled revolution, a personal story Didi by Shahin Mistry, and a poem Stammer by Sachidanandan. Yes, now you can see a cartoon strip on the board. I am not going to explain you anything regarding this. See to the cartoon and then analyze or explain what you felt reading this picture. I hope you understood. And below that we have a proverb in page number 76. See, before getting into a venture, we will have plans, isn't it? It gives confidence. This proverb gives you a confidence. The saying gives you a confidence. So, if plan A didn't work, the alphabet has 25 letters more. So, stay cool. So, if plan A didn't work, you try with the next plan. You create a plan B, then plan C, plan D. Until you succeed and be successful, keep on trying and stay cool. Don't get worried. Don't get trapped in the hands of depression. And also again, there is another quote. If you don't work for your dream, somebody else, others will hire you up to work for their dream. Okay, so shall we begin with the next lesson? The first lesson under this third unit, okay, it is the three-wheeled revolution. A three-wheeled revolution, what is a revolution? It is bringing a sudden grand change in the system. Okay, the lesson begins with the introduction. Page number 77. Most teenagers dream big. Some of them pursue their dreams, choosing a path different from those of others. They design their own route of life. Success is for those who think big and act differently. Success is for those who think big and act differently. Here I would like to mention the poem The Road Not Taken. The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. How important is taking decision in a person's life at the right moment. He says the change that had happened in his life is only because he opted being a poet. That has all made the difference in his life. Okay, if time permits, please read the poem. Okay, Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. Have you come across the word entrepreneurship? Meet Irfan Alam, an entrepreneur who changed the lives of many people through his innovative enterprise. Here is an interview with him. Let us read on. So, this is a story of a successful entrepreneur, Irfan Alam. Okay, let me ask you one question. What is the antonym of entrepreneurship? It's employment, isn't it? What is the difference between employment and entrepreneurship? Find the difference yourself. Okay. Yes. The title is of this successful story is A Three-Wheeled Revolution. Three-wheeled revolution. You have heard about revolution. Revolution we have already said it is a sudden, drastic, grand change that happens. Can you name some more revolutions that you have studied? Green revolution, white revolution, blue revolution, isn't it? So many revolutions are there. Here it is three-wheeled revolution. Why? It is three-wheeled revolution. He was a man of difference who brought change in the lives of the downtrodden people, the auto rickshaw walas, who brought change by redesigning the rickshaws, not only rickshaws, even in the lives of those people. He is a man with difference who deviated from the corporate style of business to his entrepreneurship. He was even invited for the Presidential Entrepreneurship Summit in the year 2010 by the President of America, that is Obama, and he appreciated him with the golden words, definitely it is treasurable. He said, "You are doing a tougher job than me." He takes to his credit the appreciation from Obama. It is an interview. You know how to draft an interview, asking genuine question with detailed answering. Okay. So, it begins with, if we aspire to live in a happier world, we must empower those living on the margins of the society. It is of much importance. You have to think about this. You will have to work for the people who are living in the margins of the society. If we aspire to live in the happier world, if you wish to live in a happier world, children, it is a call for you. We must empower those living on the margins of the people, society. It is you people have to think about uplifting the people who are living in the margins of the society. Yes, it begins. Congratulations on your achievement. When and how did you conceive this idea? The question is very beautiful. How did you get this idea? The thing is, initially itself I said, making use of the available resource and time. Here, his fortune and success began with water. Can you believe that? We will read and we will understand. Irfan answers that, I was 17 years old at that time. I was traveling in a rickshaw and in the middle of the journey I was very thirsty. I asked the rickshaw puller if he had any water. He said that he did not carry water bottles because he did not have money to buy and stack them. All these things happen very normally even in our life. But we leave it unnoticed. We don't think differently to make a prospect. So thinking differently, acting differently, and also thinking innovatively, thinking out of the box. He said that he did not carry water bottles because he did not have money to buy and stack them. So money was the problem for this rickshaw man. It set me thinking, and I immediately realized that there was a market for selling water bottles in the rickshaw, making use of the available resources. So he understood there is an opportunity, there is a possibility of selling water bottles in the rickshaws even, not only in the shops. The very next day, I talked to 5 rickshaw pullers and gave them each 8 bottles of water. I told them that for every bottle they sold, we would make a profit of 2 rupees, which we could split in half. The very first day, I made a profit of 8 rupees. So it becomes an additional income for them. Not everybody who hires the rickshaw will buy it, but the needy will buy. The next question is, you were very young when you came up with and executed this idea. Yes, I guess entrepreneurship is in my blood. I had an interest in business from a very early age. During the stock market scam in 1992, my father and many of his friends lost a lot of money. You know what is 1992 stock market scam? That is when I started taking interest in the stock market and began researching on various companies. Interestingly, using my advice, all of my father's friends recovered their losses and most of them started making profits. This enabled me to start my first portfolio management firm at the age of 13. Even now, there are very many children who bring new prospects at very young age. Those children should be promoted. Maybe later in future, they turn to be the gems of our country, nation, the whole universe even. So they have to be promoted. When my parents found out that I was dabbling in the rickshaw sector as well, they pulled me aside and asked me to stop doing it and concentrate on my studies. As usual, every parent is worried about the future of the children and they believe that it lies only in studies. Dabbling, experimenting. Okay, wherever I went, I thought about only making scope, finding out the scope in selling water bottles in or redefining or developing the rickshaws. So I shelved it, but my interest never waned. Shelved it, I kept it aside. Okay, and it never waned. Waned, decreased. I kept reading and researching on this sector all through my college days in Pondicherry, where I pursued my Masters of Foreign Trade degree. So he did not work behind his passion, side by side, he had his education too. What was the spark that revived this idea? Return back to this idea. So you said earlier, when your parents advised you not to focus on that and concentrate in studies, you said you kept it aside. Then when did you get it back? When did you retrieve it, recover it? In 2006, an Indian TV show called Business Basigar launched an entrepreneur hunt and solicited ideas for new business. Invited idea for new business. I entered this contest with a business proposal. My idea was to organize the rickshaw sector and make it a profitable venture. According to my proposal, rickshaws were to be redesigned so that the spaces on the vehicles could be sold for the purposes of advertising and brand promotion. Even now in autos, we can see so many advertisements in their rickshaws. Also, I indicated that additional revenues could be made by selling products like water, juice, biscuits, mobile cards and newspapers to the passengers. Indicated, pointed out. Okay. I won the show and was offered the seed money of rupees 150 lakhs. What is seed money? The initial money that is used to set up a new business venture. That is called seed money. Okay. Was Saman started with this seed money? So you have 150 lakhs. What did you do with that money? Did you begin this organization with that money? He says, no. I very soon realized that the entry barrier to this business was very low. Entry barrier? For entry, to entering into a business, what are the things needed? Money, capital, that is money, land, resource, raw materials, space, invest, that is sponsors, skilled persons to work, isn't it? So, to this business I thought entry barrier is less. And okay, let me ask you now, what are the qualities of a good entrepreneur? What are the skills or the qualities needed for an entrepreneur? Yes, he should make use of the opportunity. He should be a skilled person, courageous person, optimistic person. He should have novel ideas, a good leader. He should have a management ability, a good administrator. And then he should be willing to take risk, consistent in putting out the efforts. And now that these qualities suits this person, isn't it? He didn't stop just only by thinking. He was consistent on how to develop this prospect. And now he understood the entry barrier for this business is very low. The only way to sustain this business was to earn the loyalty of the rickshaw pullers. So, if I want to work for these people, I have to get their loyalty. They have to trust me. I should be very honest to that people. If I really want to promote them, uplift them. So, first children understand this prospect or this business or entrepreneurship was not for his personal benefit in the initial days. It was for the society he was working. And automatically he gained fame. I wanted to provide insurance, ID cards and uniforms to the rickshaw pullers. When you provide insurance, their life is safe, isn't it? Unexpected things when it happens, might be they are not able to afford to it. So, when you provide insurance, they no need to worry about the future. And ID cards, when you get ID cards, you get a self-respect. You belong to an organization. You have a credibility. You have an identity that you belong to some reputed firms. And also uniforms. When you have a uniform of certain place, you have a self-esteem. You get confidence. Isn't it? Okay. I wanted to run this as an not-for-profit organization. It's like non-profitable organization. Even in our school, we have HOPE, isn't it? HOPE, Humans Offering Paradise on Earth. It is a charity, student-run charity organization, non-profitable organization. Okay, so in the same way, he also planned to bring up an organization that is for no profit. Very few people only will think like that, isn't it? When the whole world is running behind to make money, different people think differently and act differently, innovatively and excel in their lives. To be honest with you, I was not thinking about social entrepreneurship at that point. It was just only, I was planning only for a locality. I just thought that it would be the best way to sustain the business and the easiest way to get banks to give out loans. To get a loan from a bank is very difficult, isn't it? Since the organizers of the TV show did not agree to this model, I ended up refusing the seed capital, see to his value of life, value of his creative idea, his brainchild of creative redesigning rickshaws. He was not behind money. He was very true to his own self and he was trustworthy to others. If he has thought about money, he could have got the money and made profit. But he will have to work as a slave in the hands of others. Being an entrepreneur, you should be able to bring up your own novel creative ideas there. If you are employed in some other institution, you can work only with their ideas. There might be so many limitations. You will not be express yourself as a whole. But when you turn to be an entrepreneur, you get a free chance. You get freedom to work as you wish. So, he went even to an extent of refusing the seed money. Seed money is not a simple amount. It is a huge amount. It is 150 lakhs. When did this turn into a true social venture? Is a question. And the answer to it is, as I understood more about the lives of the rickshaw pullers and their plight, it turned into a social cause. When a passion was to develop or improve their lifestyle, I went pondering more into their lifestyle and it was very pathetic. I thought empathetically. Simply, I didn't sympathize with them and drop my idea. I wanted to give them a helping hand. There are about 10 million rickshaws operating in India. Most of these rickshaw pullers do not own the rickshaws but instead rent them at the rate of 30 to 40 rupees per day. You have seen rickshaws, no? Now at Kerala, auto rickshaws are very familiar. But outside Kerala, rickshaws that are pulled by human beings, they will have to pedal it. It is not motor run vehicle. They will have to work. They will have to pedal. So, the money they make after paying the rent is barely sufficient, not sufficient to sustain their families. They will have to run their families too. So, after paying this rent, it is not enough. It will not be like even hand to mouth existence to support their family. So, definitely I will have to support or bring up this underprivileged people. They continue to remain at the bottom of the pyramid. I thought if I could create an organization that could empower the rickshaw pullers and find a way to increase the overall revenue, it would be a win-win situation for both. It is not I am motivating them, simply giving some money. They do a work with self-respect and earn a part of it, part of the profit. So, it is going to be even I get some money and they too get. It is like win-win situation. I firmly believe in C.K. Prahlad's idea that business can be successful by targeting the bottom of the pyramid. See, business, we cannot depend on the high class people alone. It is only a very few in India. So, if you are entering into a business, you will have to think about the taste and needs of these customers. Sammaan was finally founded in 2007 with seed money from family and friends. He was so courageous enough to deny the huge amount provided by the television channel, as he was not ready to compromise with the ideas. And now he didn't stop there. He kept on working and finally at 2007 he collected money from his family and friends. Now the next question is, can you describe the operation model of Sammaan? Yes. The answer is, when a rickshaw puller approaches someone, we first go through a verification process. Verification process everywhere it happens, isn't it? You will have to provide certain documents that you belong to this area, this place, because it is a registered firm, and it is, people should not take it for granted that anybody can come and go. It is an organized institution. So there is a verification process. The operator is then given training on the basic etiquette and traffic rules. Why? Once when they come under an organization, a firm, they stand for they represent this institution too. So basic etiquettes of driving should also be given to them. Once when you get into an organization, your behavior, attitude should work for the organization too. So you are given an education based on the behavior, how to behave with the customer, how to entertain the customer, how to help the customer. Then we approach the banks and help them get a loan for a new rickshaw. Previously, banks were very reluctant to give loans to this section of the society. They had a doubt whether they could repay the loan amount. Now, since we stand as guarantors, these rickshaw pullers have access to credit. Now they get the money when we stand as a guarantor. So, responsibility of the guarantor is that we will have to repay the amount if they fail to pay it back. The rickshaw pullers feel truly empowered when they drive their own vehicle. Earlier it was like rented. Now the rented rickshaws became their own rickshaws. So no need to pay for anybody else. We provide the rickshaw pullers with accident and health insurance, as we said earlier. There is a security in their life. Their life is secure. And each driver is given an ID card and is required to wear a uniform while operating the rickshaw. So, the social venture that he thought has turned to be a social cause. Once when he gets an ID card, a uniform, as we said earlier, he becomes self-efficient and he gains self-respect, and thus he leads a life of dignity. So the rickshaw pullers now become a part of the Samman family. So they now understand that there is a firm or there is an organization to support them when they fall, provided this institution takes care that they do not fall. Okay, yes. How does Samman help increase the revenues of rickshaw pullers? How does Samman itself gets its revenue? So if you run an organization, you need money. And how do you create your own money? Supporting others? Genuine, isn't it? Samman rickshaws are designed in such a way that they have plenty of space to display advertisements. That all we know, isn't it? Several local and national brands place their advertisements here. The advertisement revenue is split in half between Samman and the rickshaw pullers. So there comes a share. It is only because of the support of this organization they were able to increase their income. So automatically there comes a share. Also, rickshaw pullers can choose to sell water, fruit juice, cell phone, prepaid cards, etc. Even now recently I have seen in WhatsApp videos, auto rickshaws, they have started even providing Wi-Fi, internet facilities, newspapers. So at the time of the journey, the customers can enjoy their own time. Sometimes in roaming, internet facility will not be good, connection will not be good, poor connection. So they have started providing Wi-Fi even. So people, they have started thinking differently. As you have completed your graduation or degree course, I will work only in government institutions and firms. If you think like that, you have to sit idle. But instead, make use of your creativity think differently, think novel. Yes. Okay, so they were given an option to sell water, fruit juice, cell phone, prepaid cards, etc. In that case, they come to a central rickshaw yard in the morning and load up their wares. At the end of the day, the profit from their sales is split between them and Saman. The money that rickshaw pullers earn by transporting the passengers is solely theirs. Now even charity work is turning to be like a business nowadays. So there are quite different firms like these that work solely for the development of the underprivileged communities. Okay, so the money that they collect by transporting the passengers is for only the rickshaw pullers. But when they sell the additional things, only from there they get a share. Okay, the revenues of our rickshaw pullers have increased 30 to 40%. So automatically their life is going to be happy. There are several other benefits on which we cannot put monetary value. That is true. When you work in an institution, more than getting a salary, you feel comfortable in that place, where you get solace, understanding, love, affection, trust, friendship, unity as a family, and you get a belief that someone is there to support me. Definitely for these things you cannot put a price tag. Now rickshaw pullers have a sense of belonging and empowerment. Okay, children of the operators and their spouses attend free evening classes called Samanyan. So not only to these people we support, even their whole family we wanted to bring them up. We wanted to give them awareness, education. Their children as well as their wives, they were educated by us. Saman has brought dignity and inclusion to those who were previously considered menial laborers. Now they get a dignity to themselves, inclusion. They understand, they realize that there are people in the society to include even us along with them, to stand shoulder to shoulder. Earlier, these people were considered menial laborers. Even dignity to labor should also be thought about. No work is superior and no work is inferior. So there is no labor inferior or superior. Every work has its own respect. Think of a condition if those people did not come for work, we will get suffocated to death in the stagnant area, isn't it? So we will have to respect other laborers too. In addition, I am very happy to say that Saman itself is profitable. Okay, last fiscal year, what is fiscal year? You can call it as tax year or financial year or budget year and anything like that. Okay, so we made a net profit of 8 lakh rupees and a revenue of 50 lakh rupees. My mentors have been emphasizing the importance of sustainability. Mentors, well-wishers. They were frequently approaching me and promoting me for sustainability. You should never give up, withstand. This is how they were guiding me. The whole credit goes to them. He accepts that. Does Saman get directly involved into microfinancing? Microfinancing? Do you give directly to them any small finances? No, we do not directly microfinance the rickshaw pullers. We just enable the rickshaw pullers to get finance from the banks. So they get a responsibility of repaying it back. Okay, instead of paying rent for decades, the rickshaw pullers only pay the bank loans as installments and eventually become the owners of the rickshaws. Earlier, the condition was not the same. They will have to pay the rent. It was difficult to meet the needs of the family, and even they were not happy because they don't own the vehicle. Now, they have turned to be the owners of their vehicle. The next question is, aren't cycle rickshaws a dying breed? Fine. Question is interesting because now we all go behind engine driven vehicles. So why do you get a mind to invest on a dying breed? Rickshaws are dying. The answers, rickshaws continue to be a popular mode of transportation in most parts of the country. The number of rickshaws in New Delhi has actually increased by 20% in the last 2 years. The reason for this increase is that it has become the choicest form of transport to carry passengers to and from the metro stations. Metro stations is very familiar, isn't it? Also, I personally think rickshaws are the vehicles of future. They are environment friendly. Based on this, you may get a question. They are vehicles of future. Why? It is pollution free, isn't it? We have an R&D wing that is working on a solar powered fiberglass rickshaw. Okay, now our new venture is to redesign the rickshaw to a solar powered fiberglass rickshaws. And the next question is, what were you experiencing at the Presidential Entrepreneurship Summit at the United States? I met some truly great people. I was indeed honored to talk to the Nobel Prize laureate Muhammad Yunus. He invited me to Bangladesh to help set up a similar organization for the rickshaw workers there. And only there, he was appreciated by Obama as, you are doing a tougher job than me. See, he has said, with no denial, President of America, he has said, you are doing a tougher job than me. What is your advice to the students on entrepreneurship? Read the lines very carefully, okay? Each and every word is meaningful. An entrepreneur is one who identifies an opportunity and puts in conscious efforts to make it an enterprise. So, who is an entrepreneur? Now, the answer has come out. People generally discourage youth from treading this path. If you are getting advice from your parents, this is, oh no, it is risky. If you lose, what will you do will be the next question. What do you think about it? Be optimistic. Okay, but it is time to start thinking about entrepreneurship as a career, as it can be an important tool to tackle unemployment in the country. Often we complain about unemployment. Can the government support everybody to get employment? That is not possible even. So, why shouldn't you find your own opportunity? Create your own opportunity and turn to be an entrepreneur, and now you can solve the problem of unemployment. You can tackle the problem of unemployment. It is important to dream, but it is equally important to take up calculated risks to achieve your dream. Dreaming is easy, but sometimes we may give up in between. To give up or to continue with, challenging is a question mark. He says that you should have to take up the calculated risk to achieve your dream. The conclusion of this interview. Thank you very much for sparing the time to talk to us. We wish you the very best for your unique journey. Thanks, it's with the blessing of my mentors and well-wishers that I carry my journey forward. So, this interview has happened in the year 2010, and the interviewer is Sujata Ramprasad for India Currents. Okay, so this is an interview of an entrepreneur. Now, how do you feel about taking up a risky task of turning to be an entrepreneur? I think only that has a scope now. Instead of flying over to other countries to earn more, why couldn't you support our own country, develop yourself by developing the country, so that brain drain also can be reduced? And you people have to think right now about how to establish yourself, how to bring up your novel ideas. No doubt you are all highly innovative, creative, risk-taking, challenging, courageous. Think differently. India can flourish only with your support. And if young people like you fly off to other countries and you work for others, that's what in the previous page you have read. If you don't build your dream, someone will hire you to build their dream. Why do you want to build others' dream? Create your dream and work for it. Build your dream. Okay, so I find it's so mind-blowing to read this interview. It was so informative too. Very simple and informative. So now the ball is in your court. The ball is in your court. You will have to decide whether you will have to be you have to take up an employment or to be an entrepreneur. Okay, merits and demerits, list it out. If you want to lead an average life, flipping up the pages of the calendar and counting up the money, you will end up in an, or else taking up the risk and supporting others, you build up your own life. You have your own time to enjoy. And the choice is yours. Decide carefully. If you turn to be an entrepreneur, you can support or bring smile to so many families, jobless people, isn't it? So think differently, act differently, be courageous and be charming. And now you have got plenty of time to sit at home and think about your career. Think effectively and take the right decision at the right time. And be with the right people. Okay? Until I meet you next week, thank you with lots of love. Bye.